claim it's real are politicians and the populations that have faith in those politicians. And people are willingly to become soldiers and to fight to maintain that imaginary separation. And when you look throughout history, millions, I can even say hundreds of millions of people died to preserve those imaginary separations, which we call countries. And for what? It's the same we're all on Earth. Okay? Those separations are imaginary, we're all human beings. We all are interdependent upon each other here. But yet we make so much separations that ain't real. And the reason why we make all those separations is because we follow the line that we are separated from God. Yes, you have groups of people that have different languages. You have different skin tones, that's also true. And they live in different areas, but they're not separated. They live on the same earth, in the same universe. Let's forget about the universe, the heavens, like about earth, they're all on earth, under the same firmament. Some say the earth is flat, others say it's a globe. You see, I personally still believe it's a globe, because there are some issues with a flat earth, but whether it's flat or a globe, we're all on earth. Okay, so there are no separations between areas. In ancient times, they used mountain ranges and rivers as borders of kingdoms and empires, because they understood that those separations didn't exist. There's nothing wrong with giving a name to a certain area. There's nothing wrong with that. But to treat that area as separate, as a separate entity, that's idolatry. Really. So, let's go deeper with this. If all countries are mental separations that don't really exist, that also implies that all identifications we have with those imaginary separations are also untrue. So then the norms and values you pass on to your children that are based upon your identity of living in a country, those are also untrue. I can go very deep with this, guys, but when you go to the root of it, you'll find out that most of our daily lives is founded on a lie. And when Christ comes, he expects us to follow, to deny ourselves, entrust ourselves completely unto him, take our cross and follow him. Why? Because human beings don't like to admit that they're holding on to imaginary separations. And let's go to a smaller level. Let's zoom into countries. And now you have families. You see, you have a man and a woman who choose to have sex together, and children come out of it, are born. And now the man holds a certain separation between him and the children have to see him as a separate, higher being than the children. And when the children are growing up, they also do it with each other. The one that's older is in a separate, higher than the others. Then go to the community, and these separations are based upon needs, because the children need the parents. The parents can dump the children and move on. So the children are in a disadvantage if the parents don't take their responsibility. So in the thinking of separation, the parents have a right to do whatever they want to do with those children, because they are higher than the children. Because there's a separation between them and the children. This isn't true. But most people are growing up with that, and they learn they have to respect, they have to earn the approval of the parent, they have to respect. And when those children are grown up, they're going to demand respect from others also. They are going to demand power over others also. It's all founded upon separation. Now you have certain words in a language which are taboo words. You should never use those words because those words are cuss words, swear words. Those are just words of the same language, but we separate those words from the other words. If we use those words, then we are going to beat you, we're going to do something to you. And that's that you grow up with the program, and now there are certain words you consider offensive words, swear words. And you avoid using those words because you are traumatized with revenge when you use them. So now you don't use them anymore, but if someone else does use them, you experience a trauma again, and now you want to take it out on them, what you are experiencing here. Also founded on separation. You see, that's why we as Christians, we will have tribulation in this life, before Christ returns, because true freedom is a slap in the face of the world. Because true freedom means throwing away the whole concept of separation, is throwing away condemnation and accepting the truth, the reality as it is. We are all on the same earth. Land and sea are one, and we're all under the firmament and all in the universe that's created by the Most High. And He's the Lord of the heavens and Lord of the earth also. So all space belongs to Him. We are not needed because the Most High can exist without us. It's a blessing for us. It's an advantage for us that we even exist. And that's the truth. Okay? So when you hold on to that, you grasp that, all ideas of separation become stupid, because they are stupid, and then you leave them behind, and now you begin to discover the love and faithfulness of God shown in Christ Jesus. So that's how it is. But the world doesn't want that. The world, that means all unsaved people, and unfortunately also Christians who have a worldly mindset. The world is all about separation from God. It's all about we, human beings, doing it on our own. The world wants to have separations. The world wants to have power structures, a pyramid structure with respect and all of that. The world wants witchcraft. They want all of those stupid things. However, their efforts to maintain their separate structures is useless, because Christ already overcame, and Christ's kingdom will fill the whole earth. The whole earth will be filled with the glory of God. So all resistance of the world is useless. You see, as a child, you understand perfectly that separation isn't real. But because you're born in sin and you're self-centered by default, you will accept the separation that people teach you. But once you're older and you fully realize it, and it's obvious what you, when the Holy Spirit convicts you, you have to repent. You have to become saved. Separation is a lie. Condemnation is a lie. You cannot have any condemnation without separation. The kingdom of God, God Himself, is all about inclusion. It's about unconditional love, inclusion, about forgiveness. Satan is all about separation and becoming independent. And 1/3 of the intelligent beings and the majority of the human race is following that line of separation and independence. And the public school system is teaching us that crap in our childhood. So the public school system also enforces curses on you. So you need to be delivered from those curses also. It's almost raining outside, but maybe it's fine. I still have 1/2 hour to go. For example, one clear way you can notice separation within humans is when they don't have things their way. They automatically separate themselves from the individual who doesn't do things their way. Or when they see something that it isn't compatible with their worldview, they separate themselves from that. They don't like someone. It's walking separation. Hatred is walking separation. Fornication, sexual immorality, adultery, all of that is walking in separation. Walking in unity with Christ. Because the world is founded on condemnation and works through separation. The only unity the world has is the coming together of the world in their hatred against the truth, against Christ.
Een hele goede middag, dames en heren. Het volgende station is Eindhoven. We zullen hier binnenkomen op spoor 2. In Eindhoven kunt u overstappen voor de richting Meertroemont, Sittard, Maastricht. Dit zit zelf terug vanaf spoor 1. Reizigers voor de richting Helmond, Brandenvoort, Het Hout, Brouwhuis. U sprint zelf vertrekt vanaf spoor 2 om 17:16. Beëindigt u de rijbaan en vergeet dan niet uit te checken. Deze inzet zal doorrijden naar eindbestemming in Venlo en zal dan stoppen op Helmond, Deurne, Borstevenum, Blerik en met als eindpunt Venlo. Dames en heren, het volgende station is Eindhoven.
Eindhoven. This is a city with a lot of students also. I've made some videos around here a few months back. You can check them on my channel also. I still have about 233 minutes left here. Technical university, I believe. Let me see where it is. I believe over there you have a technical university. Or let me. No, that's the northern part of the city. Yes, my wrong. Over there, somewhere there behind you have a technical university. And you also have many shops and all of that. Oh, you have some Greek statues again. This is a very Catholic city also. You know, guys, I'm glad that I took a first class subscription to travel first class during the weekends, because if I was sitting in the second class, I wouldn't be able to do all of this. You would have passengers starting to whine that they want to be filmed, blah blah blah, and all of that. So that's why I chose first class. It's only 45 euros a month, so it's not that much. So not much money. We talked about separation, okay? Now I want to talk about waste. You often hear people say that they don't want to waste their time, right? Wait, let me try to force it. They don't want to waste their time. What is waste anyway? Look, time is just passing by, so you can't waste time. That doesn't exist, okay? And let's say you want to go to, you're at A and you want to go to B, and B is in the north. And let's say you you have a goal, you want to arrive in the north within 2 hours. So now you have a goal, you want to go to B within 2 hours, right? So if you want to go to B within 2 hours and you choose to go to the south, and you went 10 minutes to the south, and then those 10 minutes are 10 minutes of the 2 hours you had to go to the north. So those 10 minutes are a waste because it's in the wrong direction. Why is it a waste? Because you had the goal to go to B within 2 hours, and B is in the north. If B was in the south, then those 10 minutes for south wouldn't be in a waste. So things that are a waste are only a waste because they are not conforming to an ideal, or they don't conform to a certain goal. So something is only a waste if it doesn't match a goal. So, and let's say someone finishes high school, she enters university, she gets a degree, also a master's degree, and she makes a career, and she has a career. Oh, hold on. And she has a career at a company for 10 years, and now she's 30, and now she wants to look for a man. And within 5 years she finds a man, and they have one child. According to feminists and the modern world, Western world, that's an example. She made career. She developed her skills. But now there's another question here. That goal that she had, was it the will of the Most High? Was it the will of God for her to spend all those years building up a career to develop her skills? You see? And remember, God is sovereign and He has the final say so. He has the ultimate say so. Let's say that woman who spent from her 17th till her 35th year to have this career, let's say it's not God's will for her to have that career. Let's say it's God's will for her to find a husband in her early 20s and to have a family, to be a mother and a wife, and to be a blessing to her environment. Let's say that's God's plan for her. That's God designed for her as a woman. Then, if she does not live according to that plan, then she's wasting her life. The world has other goals, and when she conforms to those goals, she will be called a success. But it's God's will and God's word that will stand forever. So if it doesn't match God's word, it's a waste. Literally, it's a waste. So I want you to think about that. Okay? Many of the things we value and we promote are a waste. They are basically using the resources on earth. It's basically using the resources on earth, also our own lives, for a purpose we were never called nor designed to do. And you can become successful and prosperous with a goal that was never designed for you, for which you were never called by the Most High. So just think about that for a while.